What is going on? Still waiting for Hart Fisher to get in here. We're going to talk American Horror Film Festival. He's an author. I saw him showing off his new book today. Figure since he's running a little bit late, talk about what's going on. We just got done with back-to-back cons, Topeka, Kansas, which was always great seeing Beatrice, and Mark Patton was there, and Kim Myers, if you happen to get a chance to check out that live stream. And who else was there? Good friends, Jen Nangle and Heather Harlow were there, so that's pretty cool. But here comes Hart Fisher with, let me get it all ready here. Hart Fisher, and we're going to be talking a little American Horrors Movie Festival. So welcome to the show, Hart Fisher.
Good times, guys. Good times. And I
give you the round of applause. That's a little Beatrice Bupley thing that she makes sure I do, especially on a show. And usually I'm very late and slow on it, but I got it tonight. I was ready. So what's going on, man?
Dude, things are pretty crazy. I keep adding more and more new stuff. We just added a free screening to the film festival. So the film festival is the October 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Bottle Shop in downtown Lake Geneva. And they've got a theater in there that they used to have a magic show in all the time. This magician guy in Lake Geneva. What's his name? Tristan Krypt or something?
Yep. It is Tristan.
Tristan Krypt. And so his act got bigger and he moved out. And so we've got this really cool boutique theater that they just renovated this summer. I've been watching them over the last couple of weeks, putting in new carpet, new tables, new sound, new speakers. And so it's more of a nightclub. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And the festival is on the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th of October. So it's right at that beginning of October when you're still really hungry for Halloween before the corporations get in and shit all over
it. Exactly. Absolutely. So not this weekend, the following weekend. So about 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks out.
How many years have you been doing the American Horrors Film Festival? Is this the first? It was the fourth.
Well, the first one was in 2017. We launched the TV channel, American Horrors. The channel was launched in 2011, October 2nd. And now we're doing the film festival every Halloween, and we launched that in 2017. So this is number six. Number six.
I think I'm freezing up. I'm on my side. I'm going to bounce out and come back in because I'm like, I hear you fine. I don't know if you're having problems hearing me.
Oh, I can hear you pretty good.
On my screen, I'm like delayed. I don't know if I'm delaying on anybody else's. Let me see the comments.
Gotcha.
Make sure. What's up, Michael Toth? What's up, Tony Toth? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it kicked back in, but I was like doing the Matrix.
Well, you know, man, dude, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on around the world with a lot of hacking and stuff and a lot of DOD attacks and everything with the election. So the internet's been running wonky like crazy. Now, I don't know about you, dude, but even when I log into my freaking Yahoo, all of a sudden I need 3 different codes to get in, and a verified code has to be sent to my phone. And it's gotten kind of crazy with all this stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. And I've been getting like, on my credit score, like my info's out on the dark web or something, so I got to look into that.
Oh no, dude, that's terrible.
Yeah,
that sucks on the dark web.
Well, yeah,
it's
on my credit report, and then my bank's been driving me nuts too because I want to go make a payment today and my card's not working again. I got to check with them. I'm hoping it's just another glitch, but it happened on my way home, so it looks like I'll have to change banks, and unfortunately, time is not on my side.
Dude, I had to do this with my car insurance. I'm not going to throw the giant international corporation under the bus that just started adding artificial fees to my account, but I just changed my car insurance a couple months ago, and it was all because I kept getting these weird fees like, hey, man, I'm looking at my bill. What's this $20 fee? Oh, everybody got that. I'm not everybody. I don't know what this fee is for. I'm not paying it. Oh, hey, wait a minute. What's this $40 fee that just showed up on here? Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to call corporate. Well, somebody's got to tell me what this $40 fee is. And it just kept happening over and over again. And then they also did one where, it was a credit card payment and it didn't go through the one day, it went through the next day, but they were billing me as if it was a bounced check. And it's like, screw you, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay you. The card didn't go through the one day and it went through the very next day. That is not a late fee, guys. That is not a bounce check. And it said bounce check. And I'm like, this is a credit card. What are you talking about? There's not a
I had
human
a
being
problem with my
involved in the
credit card
transaction.
again. On my way home from Minnesota, my bank decided that there was weird charges. It's like, I'm on the road to Minnesota. You guys know I travel a lot. I go, I'm going to have these kind of expenses. And luckily I had alternative credit card and alternative money, or I would have been stuck on the road.
Well, doing all the comic conventions I used to do with Boneyard Press, the comic book company, I always made sure to call up where I was going to be and say, like, hey, I'm traveling. I call up my credit card company and I tell them, hey, I'm traveling from here to here. I'm going to be here from this date to that date. And then I haven't had a problem. And it used to happen to my mother. She'd come out to visit me when I lived in LA, and it would happen all the time. We'd be out getting dinner or something, and it would always be kind of a freaking nightmare because the credit cards were always giving her a hard time. It's like, she comes out the same time of year every year. We're at the same restaurant she goes to every time we go out. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what is this, guys? Calm down.
I'm gonna have to make the phone call, because even though they're like, did you call? It's like, how about you guys call me before you turn off my credit card? How about you give me a phone call? You got my number, and just say, hey, is this you? And I'd be like, yeah, it's me. And
well, that's been the fun thing with doing the film festival, dude. Doing the film festival, we've had a lot of trial and error. So I tried to use like the ticketing system through filmfreeway.com. I tried to use their, and then they don't give you the money till like 10 days after your event's over. And it's like, how am I supposed to pay everybody that worked the event, man? So then I tried brown paper tickets, online ticketing, and that didn't work. And there was another thing with lots of fees. So when you order the American Horror Film Festival ticket, guys, it's going right to us. You're going to support the festival. So the money from those ticket prices, and it's only $15 a ticket. And the film festival is free to the public. So we have vendors. We got guests coming in. Dr. Ivan Kryptosis is a horror host in Wisconsin. He's coming down. We've got Trike from Trike's Comic Alley is bringing in a bunch of horror comic books. We've got a spiritualist, and we've got a tarot card reader. And we've got a bunch of the actors and cast and crew members and the directors and the producers are all coming out. And we even have a singer from Italy, Snavone. She is the lead singer of a band called The Divines. She has her own solo career. She's a music video director. She is an actress. And so her first short film, Cope, is having its North American premiere on Saturday as part of the Halloween Shorts around 5 p.m. And she's flying in from Italy to be there, to be part of our red carpet event on Saturday night. Because the red carpet event's open to the public, guys. You can come in, you can meet everybody, you can hang out, you can shake hands. And if you want to see a movie, it's $15.
You can't go wrong there. You can't do anything for $15 anymore. So,
I know. And we're in a wine bar. Dude, we're in a wine bar. And it's got all this awesome red stuff. They've got some pretty good beers too. But I love the red stuff. And they're letting us take over the whole place. It's a whole complex with different nooks and crannies. And it's right in the heart of downtown Lake Geneva. And it's cool. I'm really excited.
So you said she's a musician. Is she going to be playing there as well?
No. But if we're lucky, she might sing karaoke, because the opening night party is a karaoke party that we're working with Urban Cloud Factory, which is a CBD store here in downtown Lake Geneva. And they're our big full boat sponsor for the opening night karaoke party. Costume. We're going to have a costume contest. We got cool prizes. I'm actually thinking about giving away, I don't know how many people know that the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, wrote comic books for me when he was 15 years old. And so I have his first published work, and I'm considering giving away one of these very, very fine condition comic books to the costume winner at the karaoke party. And it's worth about, I don't know, $300 or $400.
That's not a bad first prize. Somebody's going to have to step up their game in that costume contest.
And then we've got other prizes being given away. We've got like lots of coupon cards, and we got lots of cool stuff from the different sponsors and shops. I'm really excited because the whole city's supporting us. When people talk about horror, they always talk about being ostracized, or, man, they don't like me because I'm a horror freak. They love it. They love horror here. They dig it. They're into it. They're excited about the festival. The whole town is helping me. Harbor Shores Hotel is our official hotel of the festival, and they've given us a really good discount rate, and they've really been good to my people, and they've been good to us. So I'm really happy to have them on board. I mean, it's a full bore American Horror Film Fest. It's an international film fest, and our goal is to make it kind of kind of like the Sundance of horror out here in Wisconsin. You know, we're right on this beautiful lake, Lake Geneva, and the water here is gorgeous. And I think I'm going to keep the date on the first weekend of October. I'm really liking it. You know what I mean? And I'm like
Well,
more
you're kicking
excited.
off Halloween season strong.
Yeah, yeah. And what would happen to me in the past, we used to always do the festival on Halloween, right? And so what would happen to me is a lot of my buddies are like, dude, I can't make it. I
I
got to
got
take
something
Tony trick
else
or treat.
going on.
No, they didn't
Yeah,
take their kids trick or treating. And
yeah.
I couldn't yell at them like, dude, take your kid trick or treating. You got to do that.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. Take them trick or treating. So I decided, I'm like, man, if I want to get those people that are missing out, and then there's also a lot more competition with bars and restaurants, and everybody's doing their Halloween thing. And these movies that we have, look, okay, I've been a long-term horror creator. I've been doing horror as a professional since 1991. And as the author of the infamous Jeffrey Dahmer comic book, as the man who worked with Danzig and wrote the only thing he's had banned, burned, and blacklisted, Taste of Cherry in Veronica #4, to work with insane outlaw people in the adult industry like Max Hardcore, Rob Black, and a comic book
Max
artist.
hardcore. My buddy used to talk about him all the time. He was definitely hardcore.
Well, Max was a friend of mine. Max was a
Oh,
friend.
really?
Max met my mom. I was
Well,
on pins and needles
Mike
when
heard
Max
you
was
talk
around my
about
mother.
Dahmer. I'm sure he's all excited. I told you about my artist Michael Toth. He's here, and he's such a Dahmer fan. He'll probably want to get some of those Dahmer comics you got.
Dude, well, right now, anybody out there listening, if you go to the American Horrors, AmericanHorrors.net/shop, go on there and you could get the digital download of the Boneyard Press, the Dahmer Omnibus. Get the Dahmer Omnibus digitally, download that puppy, and we're going to have physical copies for sale in about 2 weeks. They're at the printer right now. We've been wrestling with this book for about a year. I've been testing it with different printers, and I wasn't happy. One printer, they didn't do it full bleed. Another printer, it looked like it was printed on like a bubble dot matrix printer. It looked terrible. So I've been talking with a lot of other comic book publishers about, like, guys, who do I got to go with? You know? And one of my old stories just got reprinted in Rick Veitch's True Man, the Max Immortal? True Man, the Max Immortal, which just came out in stores. And it's a really cool comic book. And my story in it is called The Vampire Hunters Club. And it's about a bunch of little kids that purposely get turned into vampires to go after the abusive stepdad.
Vengeance is at its finest there, huh?
You got it, buddy. You got it. And at Film Fest, dude, you're going to love this. Okay. Anybody who's a big fan of Boneyard Press, we had a series called Flowers in the Razorwire, and it was an erotic horror anthology. The logo for that comic book was designed by Burke Sauls, who did the logo for Blade Runner, the original movie. And so Flowers in the Razorwire, we did a pilot for Japanese TV, and then we had a feature film with Flowers in the Razorwire that for some reason we just couldn't get it released. We had some legal issues with it, and finally we got all that fixed. We got it all taken care of, and now this thing is going to premiere. It's going to have its worldwide theatrical premiere at the American Horror Film Festival at noon, October 5th, and it's free. I'm going to make it free. It's first come, first served. This is a boutique theater. We just want people to come in, have a good time, and meet everybody. Get their stuff signed. I'm going to have books for sale there too. You know, somebody want to pass me a Poems for the Dead hardcover? I think I put it in the other room. We got a lot of new books that I've been publishing, a lot of new stuff and getting back. We were trying to get my movie, The Garbage Man, together for Blu-ray, but we didn't make the deadline on that one because a lot of my film library is going to start coming out on Blu-ray, and I want to do a VHS run of The Garbage Man. Of course, I did it. The Garbage Man is my first film. It's about a black serial killer, and it's the film that I wrote and directed and did during the whole Dahmer controversy. Now, you said your artist is a huge freak for the Dahmer stuff. Does he have a question for me? Is there something he wanted to know?
I bet he'd just sit there and talk about Dahmer with you. I don't know if he heard it, but yeah, I mean, he must have watched the series when it came out about 1,000 times. He's I don't want to say he's crazy because he's not crazy at all. He just always, he's into the horror. He's like you. He just finds the serial killers fascinating. Dahmer definitely hooked him in that show. The series on what was Netflix was. I usually talk to him, and you're a fan of it also. Yeah, and Mike knows Dahmer. That's what he was just saying. But yeah, he studies them too. But I'm sure he'd love to talk some Dahmer with you because I'm a Dahmer fan. It was a great series, and you know, I know all about it because I'm a 90s kid well, I mean, I was born in the 70s, but it was my high school years when all that stuff
It's a
went
trip.
on.
They've got the Menendez brothers story up, and I'm like, guys, I was there. I had that shit rammed down my throat. I don't care about the Menendez story. I don't care about it. I lived it. And the same with you know, I mean, I've been part of true crime culture for a long time now because of the Jeffrey Dahmer book that thrust me into the spotlight for the first time. And actually wasn't the first time. The first thing that really put me in the spotlight is even before the Jeffrey Dahmer book controversy, I sued Marvel Comics over copyright and trademark infringement for my book Dark Angel. Long story short, the Hell's Angels One Percenter Club helped me, and and I won my case, and I got them to cancel the book.
Is that where the show went?
What?
Is that what happened to the show?
Oh yeah, right.
No, that wasn't the show.
Oh no, that wasn't the show. They had a comic book called Dark Angel.
UK.
It was a Marvel UK book done in England, and it was originally called Hell's Angel. And then the motorcycle club sued them, and they won, and they donated everything that they won to charity.
A little bit of plagiarism.
Well, they changed the name from Hell's Angel to Dark Angel, which infringed on my copyright. So I went after them, and I got a lawyer, and I did it. It's funny because the Hell's Angels lawyer is the guy who I sat down, and he took time. And if you guys at home don't understand, a lawyer is billed by the hour, and they will prorate you by 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You are going to have to pay these guys a lot of money. Oh. I swear to God, I shit you not. The Hell's Angel, God, I'm all over the place right now. The Hell's Angel that helped me, the lawyer, he gave me like an hour of his time, an hour of very expensive time, and he walked me through their case. Then he walked me through what I needed to do, and I won. So I'm the only comic creator I'm aware of that's ever beaten Marvel Comics in court over copyright and trademark infringement.
You fought the system and won.
I fought the man.
Trophy.
I won.
You need a trophy. You need a big plaque. I beat the system.
Well, you know, I've done it multiple times. That's kind of why you don't really hear about me in the press. You don't really, because I won't play the game. I don't play. I refuse to play by their rules. And when they give me their rules, I'll subvert them. I'm pretty smart, and I'm pretty good at that kind of thing. And like, okay, I'm doing this film festival, right? I didn't just jump into it. I'd been researching film festivals since I finished my movie, The Garbage Man, in the year 2001. I was researching film festivals in the 90s because I'd made The Garbage Man in 1993. And my girlfriend was murdered in the middle of it. So my book, Homes for the Dead. Abby hit me with the book. Might as well do the plug. Oh, who's got the book?
You got the. Did you
Anybody got the book?
Today, didn't you?
It's in a box over there by the window in the office in the dark. Anyway, Poems for the Dead was because of my girlfriend's murder in the middle of the Jeffrey Dahmer book, or the middle of the Garbage Man shooting. And again, it was an intense, true crime, insane experience, and I had to testify in a sex crime trial. There were 3 different trials. It was over 10 years. So I've got all this experience with horror and with true crime and with the process. And so for myself, I think I bring that to the table when I do a film fest. So after The Garbage Man, I really researched film festivals. I really went into it, and I read every book I could get my hands on. I bought Chris Gore's film festival guide. Chris Gore was the editor of Film Threat magazine, and he also became like a spokesperson on, I think it was the G4 channel. Cool, fun guy.
Yeah,
and so I've been doing all this research, and when I finished The Garbage Man, I volunteered at a film festival in Los Feliz in LA, and then I got the job with American Horrors, and I started doing, thank you. I started doing the American Horrors channel, and we made a point to cover and be like embedded reporters at the film fest. So I got to see exactly how do all these different people do it and see the best and the worst and what are the mistakes they made. So I think what I'm doing at the festival, I think I've got a really good professional festival that is backed by most of the winners of Best Feature have all gone on to have their work sold in Walmart. And they've all gotten major distribution deals. I mean, every Best Feature winner every year at the festival, and one of my favorites was Bad Candy. You could see another feature winner, Girl Next, is on Tubi, and I think Bad Candy's on Tubi. Guys, is Bad Candy on Tubi?
Yes, it is.
I'm pretty sure it is, because I don't know if I've seen it, but I think it's on my watch list.
Yeah, Bad Candy's great. Dude, Bad Candy's so good, my mom watched it 2 nights in a row, and my mom's not a horror fan.
Really?
Yeah, she watched it 2 nights in a row. It's really, really damn good. And so is Girl Next. Girl Next is a weird sex slave story, and it involves drugs and MK Ultra, and it is really dark, but damn, is it good? It is damn good. And I think that we set the tone at American Horror's Film Festival by being a tastemaker, by being able to spot these guys and recruit these guys. And this year at the festival, man, I mean, the thing we're closing out the festival with is a really cool horror comedy called Somewhere Confidential. And it's a spoof of old Private Eye movies and horror films from the 50s with a Naked Gun kind of vibe. And then on Saturday night, our big anthology film is Effed, Tales from the End Times. And that film is helmed by Ash Hamilton, who is a veteran of the festival. And in 2021, he won Best Mockumentary for his movie it's Holes in the Sky, the Sean Miller story. And that's a really good one. That's a good, creepy, ancient aliens, fire in the sky, kidnapped by aliens movie. That's really good. And Ash is back with this anthology. We've got our red carpet event on Saturday night. Snavone is going to be there for that. There's so many cast and crew members coming. One of the films I'm really excited about is called Bloodspawn. Bloodspawn isn't like, I used to read comic books from DC, all these different horror anthologies, and I'm pretty sure they had one called Weird Western Tales. Am I right on that? Weird Western Tales. And it was all horror stuff in the Old West. And so that's what this is. Bloodspawn is derived from Cherokee Indian legend about this monster, and it's like a dragon. And their stop motion effects and the stuff they did in it is super cool. It's really, gritty. It feels very much like a Joe Bob Briggs kind of, thing, or Up All Night on USA. It's really well done. And I'm just really proud of all the films that are in here. One of the coolest things is the Monster Kids screening on Sunday, October 6th. Monster Kids. Okay, I moved to Wisconsin in 2015, right? I've been out here for about 9 years, and I love it out here. And I've been really embraced. My whole crew is all local filmmakers. My actors and actresses are all local actors and actresses that grew up here, and that's pretty cool. And so one of the local little spots around Lake Geneva is called Fontana, and they had a Fontana Film Club, and it was all 6th and 7th graders. So these kids got together and they made themselves a 30-minute claymation King Kong short horror film.
How cool is that?
It's pretty cool, dude. They did a really good job. And so I'm like, what do I do with this? Aha, I know. I'm going to do a Svengoolie friendly screening. Like, if you could see it on Svengoolie, then it's good enough to be on Monster Kids. And we didn't put anything super gory or nothing really nasty in there. And it made it like very, very fun, very WGN Channel 9. And
family friendly. The whole
family friendly. And the kids are going to be there. And I'm going to have them on the red carpet. I'm going to interview them because we're going to have panels there. So we're going to be interviewing people, doing shout outs. Like, if you're a fan of American Horrors and you see there's these shout outs. Hi, I'm Hart Fisher, and I'm here on Doomsday Krypt, and you're watching American Horrors. And so I do this with people, and if somebody wants to do a shout out, come to the festival, man. Come on down, hang out, have some wine, get yourself some gore corn. We're going to have some special American Horror style popcorn that I've been wanting to do for years. So we're going to have gore corn.
It tastes like popcorn, but it looks like chunks of beef.
Yeah, something like that. And then I finally got the guys to find my hardcover Poems for the Dead. So this is the sign.
Unboxed that today. I missed the live unboxing, but right before I was getting on, I saw you were unboxing that.
Yeah, we're unboxing it. So this is the new hardcover of my first book of poetry, Poems for the Dead. There's a ton of different comic book people in here, like Jill Thompson and David Mack. David Mack's got stuff in here. It's a really good, really nice, well-done hardcover book. Poems for the Dead has been kind of sold out for a while. It's my first collection of poetry. And so this is one of the things I'm going to have available. It's a limited edition. There's only 150 copies of the hardcover done. They're signed and numbered by me. And I'm going to have them available at the show, along with really all the collectible Boneyard Press comic books I'm going to have in vintage. You know what I mean? They're in really great shape. And we're also going to have Flowers and the Graves, or a chance meeting. Oh, whoever
Oh,
said sorry for
she was saying about your girlfriend when you were
yeah, thank
talking
you.
about. Yeah, yeah. Tony's a very compassionate person, so I know
And
she
for the
felt
audience at home, it's not always wine.
Sorry, no, nothing wrong with that, man. Especially if you're celebrating your film festival, that's going to be at a wine place. You got to represent the wine too, right?
I love wine, man. I
Yeah,
really dig it. And that's been okay for people that watch American Horrors, they know like how many times I've been out there drinking wine, smoking cigars. I'm inside now, and where I'm at, I can't smoke inside, but otherwise I might have been smoking a cigar because that's kind of I do love
yeah,
cigars.
yeah. I hear you. Nowadays, I kind of jealous of my parents. They could smoke wherever they wanted, huh? It didn't
Mm.
matter. Back in the day, you'd be smoking on a plane. I remember my parents, we're not going to open the windows. It's cold outside in the station wagon, just smoking their cigarettes. But
Oh,
nowadays, you can't go anywhere and smoke.
oh, my dad in the car on the family trips to go vacation, like, don't roll down those windows. You're going to dry out my contacts. Because he'd be smoke. My
I
pop
got the
smoked like two
goddamn
packs
air
a day.
conditioner on. Yo, to open the windows.
No, don't open the windows. It's not like the smoke that's right in front of his face will dry out his contacts, but that open window will.
Yeah. Your eyes are bleeding and you don't even wear contacts in the back. But
Mhm.
times have changed in that sense a lot. I mean, it just keeps changing. But yeah, you're not going to be. I mean, and nowadays you just don't want to smoke inside anyway. A cigar will linger, especially if we got some nice collectibles, which it looks like you do behind you.
Yeah, the painting behind me is the original Boneyard Press painting that was done by Guy Burwell. He airbrushed it. He was a good buddy of Timothy Bradstreet, and Guy drew Dead Man Walking for Boneyard, and so he airbrushed that for us. It used to be the backdrop when we would do comic conventions, and so eventually, you change up your backdrops as you got different characters, and now everybody does vinyl banners. But at Boneyard Press, we did original paintings. So a
Wow.
lot of the stuff I have and a lot of the canvases are like original paintings and original art. So it's really great to have that. That reminds me of a lot of good times, a lot of crazy times from the beginning of Boneyard, and it fed into doing American Horrors because American Horrors it's free. We could have been an HBO service, but I made a point that we were going to be free for everybody to watch and enjoy and come into the party and have a good time, guys. That's why I'm like, watch the commercials, damn it.
Yeah,
That's how I make
make
my
sure you
money. I
can
make my
produce
money
what
in the
you
off
want without somebody telling you how you got to make it and you need to make these cuts and this needs to be changed and that needs to be changed. That's the nice thing about doing it independently, especially if you're not. It's not about so much the money, it's about the respect of what you're doing and showcasing and sharing with people. That's what it seems like and sounds like with you. It'd be fine to go and sell these projects, but then you lose control of your own uh your own brand and everything. You got people telling you how you should do it, how you're going to do it, how you're going to make this show. Well, you can't have this in the show with independent. Nobody's going to tell you what you can and can't do, especially if you're the one who's running it. For the most part, unless the kids are coming with their stuff, but that's a choice you make too, I'm sure.
Well, a lot of times I'm a professional. So my feeling many times is as a professional, I'm hired to do a job, right? So I might not always be making the product I really want to make, but sometimes it's a challenge to do that. Like when I wrote the Vampire Hunters Club, it was published in Chaos Comics and Nightmare Theater, and it was a kid's story. And I'm known for being really extreme and like having stuff banned, burned, blacklisted, and burned. I mean, I've literally had my comics burned. The Dahmer book was burned by Capital City Distribution, rather the second largest distributor in America for comic books. They burned my books, like 1,500 books. They burned them. They paid me for them. Then they tried to twist my arm into buying them back. And they had stores that wanted them.
What were you going to buy? The ashes and put them in an urn?
Yeah, I mean, they wanted me to buy them back, and I wouldn't buy them back. And
So they
so then
burned
they
them?
burned.
I
Then they
got you.
burned them.
I was
So
just teasing.
that's kind of the kind of thing I've run into throughout my life. So when you do that, it's kind of like I'm a fighter. I do martial arts, and I get in the ring and I fight. And once you get established as a dude who enjoys being thrown in the ground, pops back up and throws the other guy in the ground, and that's class 3 times a week in judo. I apply that to business, and I apply that to what I do. So I keep coming back. I keep coming back, and I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do it better, and I want better movies. Like one of the cool ones we just added. Man, we have all these movies are really, really cool. I'm just so stoked. We've got this other film called Psych, and it's really surreal. It's the second film of the festival. It comes on after Flowers and the Razor Wire. So Flowers and the Razor Wire is free. That's the noon screening that's free. And it's first come, first serve, because in this boutique theater, we've only got 54 seats. But you can hang out. You can hang out, have wine, hang out and chat with us, artists that aren't in there watching the movie. And so Psych, it's really stripped down and lean. It's beautiful. Like, you want to see this movie on the screen. This woman wakes up. She doesn't know how she got into this space. And she's got like this computer TV monitor in front of her. And the monitor's telling her she's like in a game. She's trapped in something. And it's visually spectacular. The cinematographers who shot this, amazing job. Amazing job. And that's going to feed right into Death Orchard. Death Orchard is a fun horror film made by two young women that they've done a couple films before, and them and their teenage friends got together and they all made a horror film, Death Orchard. And it's about, they cast a spell, they think it's a joke, and they find out that they've really let loose a curse. And they're trying to figure out, well, who's this monster killing people? And again, it's practical effects. One of the things I love about the independent films is the practical effects, the real makeup effects that are on set. And the monster in this is cool. And Mary, the director, she's going to be out at the festival. So she's going to be there to talk to people and meet people. And anybody can take pictures in front of the red carpet wall. It's not like we're going to have like bodyguards like, you get away from that wall, little whippersnapper.
That's for the celebrities. Get on out of here.
Yeah, all these celebrities here on this red carpet wall. It's fun. And man, the Halloween shorts, because we have two different blocks of shorts. So on Saturday night, that's where Snavone's stuff is going to be, Cope, and stuff like Swipe Right to Die, or what do we got here? Let me look at my phone here and open this up here and see what else have we got here for the where'd it go, Abby? It's not there now. Oh no. Okay, find me the list of the films. The short films are my favorite thing to pick, to be honest with you, because they're poppy and they're also different. And one of the shorts in the Halloween section is called The Parcel. And this dude gets his first day on the job, like being a delivery driver for some like UPS kind of thing. He has a very bad day. A very bad day. Then there's another one called Meat, about cannibals. And this short was made.
Oh, it's not spelled M-E-E-T. It's M-E-A-T.
No, it's M-E-A-T. Meat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's not. I mean, it's not. You're going for a meeting. You're going for some meat.
Yeah, exactly. You're going for some meat. So the Halloween shorts. Where are we at here? Here we go. Let's see. Oh no, that's just the Psych screening, honey. I want the whole list. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Nope, that's not it either. I need the whole screening list, hon, not the Psych list. So what was I talking about? I was talking about The Parcel and then meat. Meat. Oh yeah. The cool thing about Meat is all the effects were done with actual meat. There we go. Thank you so much.
So
I want to give a shout out here real quick to I want to say, hey, thank you to Abby Jean Wilson from All Booking and Promotions, who's behind the scenes here. A little bit frustrated, but she's doing a great job. So here we go. Halloween. Let me get it here, buddy. Here we go. Swipe Right to Die, I mentioned. The Parcel, I mentioned. Detoxification is a really good one about anybody who's ever dealt with a painkiller addiction. We have No Slasher here is a lot of fun. Dark Harvest is cool. 32 is a really interesting black and white film that we got from overseas. And then 11 to 6. 11 to 6 is fun. That is fun. That is if anybody who's ever had to work late at like a diner or a restaurant or like at a gas station, anywhere where you're kind of isolated and alone, 11 to 6. 11 to 6.
That sounds like a good concept. Sounds like a fun movie.
It's good. It's really well done. And I might as well read off the other films from the Monster Kids. Okay, I'll admit this. I have a short in here. I play this character called Sad Jason. He's like Jason Voorhees' dumb little brother. My mask doesn't fit. It's too small. My outfit doesn't fit. It's too small. I'm stupid and kind of clumsy, so I never really get to kill anybody. I've got a really shitty machete. So there's a couple of those in there. We've got a really cool AI short that's financed by the Mexican government. It is called Who is God?
Ooh.
Then we've got Real Terror, Dustbusters, and I believe the director of Dustbusters is going to be there. He's a Wisconsin native. And then we've got Bialo, Prolific. Prolific is pretty intense. Haunted, Out of Order. Out of Order is fun. Nightmare. Nightmare is another one of those creepy toy kind of movies. It's pretty good. I like that one. It's got a good twist at the end. And then we've got a really cool animated short from Academy Award nominee John R. Dilworth called Howling, about werewolves. And then I think we finalize it out with another claymation short called Antisocial that's really damn good. Thank you, Abby.
The claymation stuff. It sounds like a lot of the movies got, which a lot of independent films, which I love, go the old 80s route and 70s or whatever with the practical effects. I'm a big practical effects guy. So when you say stop motion and claymation and stuff like that, I enjoy stuff like that because I know how much work goes into each shot to make that happen. I mean, I don't personally know, but I know, but what the tediousness of making a scene like that work, flow, and look good for the audience. So I love to see the practical effects making a comeback. And independent films really are the ones that are keeping it stronger, where Hollywood just, it's just CGI everything, which a blend of CGI and practical effects can work well. But when it's like the new Planet of the Apes, I couldn't even get through it. It felt like I was watching a cutscene in a video game. Yeah, it looked good and stuff, but it just didn't have the
well, the thing about practical effects is when you're dealing with practical effects, let's say something doesn't work, right? Yeah. And you're on set, you could mess around with it. You could tweak it. Okay, that's not working. We're gonna have to try it this way. Like, I'll give you an example. For myself, we were doing an effect on my short horror film, My Name is Nothing. And a local actor ends up stabbing himself to death in the neck with a butter knife. Well, the blood spray out of his neck wasn't working. It just was not working, dude. None of our effects were working for the stab scene. So what ended up happening was I ended up having to stand off camera with a bottle of betadine, and I'm like timing it and squirting it so it hits right when his knife is hitting his neck, and squirting, and then I played it in reverse. So when I cut it into the short, I reversed the footage, and it looked really good. It really worked. But with CG, you don't have that latitude, and CG is really, really harder than people think to make it work. And when you're on set, it's a lot easier
to make it not look like total dog. But that's where I like a good blend of it. Like, I've learned to like a blend from other filmmakers I've talked to. I was always like, CGI, especially when you've kind of gone through films when CGI was first starting. I've lived through that, and that's kind of newer to me, even that. But where it's a lot better now, but it's still nowhere near perfect. And you can tell it's a computer screen. You can tell the actors aren't really reacting sometimes too. And even if it's a practical effects or a practical prop, at least they got a visual of what they're looking at.
What do you think of the AI animation? What do you think about the AI animation that's been happening with these different demonic, short animations? Have you seen them on YouTube?
I have. I mean, I have. I think teach their own. AI is one of those things where it's intriguing to me, but it's also very scary of what it can become and how fast it can go, and what it can do for people actually making a living and being useful in their craft and their actual intelligence, instead of letting the AI generate it. But I know there's a lot going on with it. So far, it's not too bad, but it's getting a little more and more where it's, I don't know. I'm waiting for Arnold to come back. I need you close your boots and your motorcycle, because I swear we're going into that realm, right? James Cameron tried to tell us. But I mean, seriously, AI comes.
I find it really creepy. Like, I find the animations really demonic and creepy and soulless. I find they really, really lack a soul.
Exactly.
and there's something wrong with them. It's hard to put my finger on.
I know exactly. Well, you could. It's missing the soul of the person that's creating it.
Yeah, I think so. That might be part of it. Because, you know, when you do a brush stroke, you have an energy and there's a line. Like the Japanese had the notion of the perfect brush stroke.
Yeah.
And they had a whole art form about that perfect brush stroke. And in comic books, okay, why did Rick Veitch reprint the Vampire Hunters Club story in black and white instead of color? He did it in black and white because he felt the color was muddying up the beautiful line work of the inks of the black and white artwork itself. And he was right because it looks really good. Rick Veitch, good job, buddy.
I like a black and white with a lot of gray shade, you know, where like I'll watch Mike, I'll use him as an example when he's doing his deck, so outline it and watching the process. He's always sharing it with me, sending updated pictures and stuff. But there's always a point where it gets really full with the black and white he does before he adds the color. That I love the color too, because we do a lot of black light, but they look really, really beautiful, like a beautiful tattoo. That kind of black and white in a comic I really like. The Walking Dead, they did the black and white in the pages, and I'll use that as an example. It was really good at first, and you could tell towards the end when they ended the whole thing, it was rushed. So black and white can kind of be good if the detail's there. If it's not, you might as well throw some color on there to give it a little bit of life. If that makes sense.
One of my old friends and one of my early Boneyard Press artists just recently passed away. John Cassaday. I got to give a shout out and my condolences to him and to his family. You know, John's gone, so my condolences to his family and friends. I really cared about John. I thought John was an amazing creator, an amazing artist. And one of the things I liked is he went on to become a big artist at Marvel, right? He did Captain America and X-Men, and really had an amazing career. Planetary with Warren Ellis, I really liked. And the stuff he did for me was black and white. And I felt that his use of space and design and the blacks was just, I think that it was better than the stuff he did that was colorized. I really felt that at a certain point for him as an artist, he started to understand, oh, this is going to get colored. So since it's going to get colored, I don't have to draw I'm going to draw a different way. You know what I mean? My art's going to be different to leave room for this color, or maybe I've got a deadline. But John was just an amazingly talented artist, and he did a bunch of stuff for me with Bill the Bull and Dark Angel. And I've got that. It's kind of tough now selling these comics, and I've got a bunch of unpublished artwork of his. So I'm doing this buildable omnibus, and I've been really late with the book. It's been taking me forever to get this book done. But I've had a lot of crazy stuff happening in my life. I had to move twice in a year, and I'm not going to get into all the drama into my behind the scenes because I don't always like airing my drama. But it's been nuts, and things have finally come around, and the books are getting printed, and like the Big Book of Dahmer is at the printer, and I'm waiting for another proof. I think this printer is going to do a good job. And then Bill the Bull, since it's really late, but since John Cassaday passed, I've got 6 or 8 pages of unpublished pencils of John. So at no extra cost, I'm gonna put those pencils that have never been published of John's work into the buildable omnibus as like a thank you and an honoring John's work and getting it in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's cool that you're going to be honoring his work, you know, since he passed on, and that's really cool what you're doing and the way you're supporting all these different people with the film festivals, comic book artists, comic book writers. You're a writer yourself, a filmmaker. I mean, I know you. It seems like you started off with the comic book thing. I'm guessing you were a huge comic book fan as a kid. It got you started with art. And then you started really growing that to adding stories to it and the filmmaking and you know, especially nowadays, I don't want to say it's easier to put out a film, but with today's technology and the cost of some things and to be able to pull off, even if, you know, like the young kids you're saying, they can take their phones now, have fun. Where when I was a kid, you're lucky if your dad had one of those 50-pound camcorders that still looked like crap. You know, well, it looked good if you're doing it at night, but even then it looked like crap because it just, you know,
your JVC camcorder that had like a case next to it that would record to with a cord down, and you had to like have it on the back, and Dad looked like he was like a war reporter.
You almost needed you needed support brackets to hold it up after a while,
Mhm, mhm.
but yeah, it's easier for our kids to get out. Like you were saying, some of these kids, one girl.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you straight up, dude. Is it a guy who's been doing horror movies? I mean, I made my first one in 1993. It took me a long time to finish it because we shot it on 16 millimeter film, and that was The Garbage Man. And I was a lot of craziness in my life. So for me to finish The Garbage Man, we shot it in 93. It didn't get released to DVD till 2009. It took a long time
Takes
to
a
get
little
that
while
thing
to
finished.
transfer that stuff.
Well, it took a long time for life. All
Yeah,
kinds of different things happened. And, everybody forgets that sometimes, hey, I want to get this movie done, but I got to go to work. I
yeah.
got a job
Oh,
and I got to
trust me,
pay the
I know.
bills.
There's never enough time in a day. There really
And if you
isn't.
got kids, do you have kids?
Not no, but I take care of special needs. It takes a lot of
Mm,
my time, and then I do conventions. Like I got 3 cons coming up in the next 4 weeks, where I'll
hmm
be on the road a bunch, which is fun. I love to do it, but
hmm
yeah, my hands are usually full because I'm at work a lot, and I usually do 24-hour shifts, and when I'm not at work, I'm usually on the road. So yeah, I finding enough time now is tough. Real tough. So
It's
to finish things I want to do, it's even like I got the Doomsday's Krypt store, and I was talking to some people. It's like I don't have time to do the store on top of work and traveling. I mean, it's just so much to do, especially since I do it myself.
mhm.
For the most part, at Missouri, because I live in Missouri, most of my family and friends are in a different state. And my con family, I wind up seeing on the road all over. It doesn't matter what state, but nobody seems to be from Missouri or around where I am. So usually the bulk of it and the boatload of it, anything outside of my job, I put it on my shoulders to do, which I like as well too. I kind of like the only person I got to listen to nag at me is me. So I like that. I can deal with
Ah,
that.
doing the American Horrors television channel is that in itself is like multiple jobs rolled up in one. Then doing the film fest, then doing the publishing of the comic books, and also I'm drawing again. And that's been really cool. It's like really been a lot of fun for me to get back on my old sketch pads from when I was in college, and I really busted out the old Strathmore. And my girlfriend's got all these cool pencils and all these cool art stuff for paints and different colored Sharpies. And I've really been going in. It's been nice to go back and do new drawings and new artwork. So it's something I've been doing for Boneyard Press, where I do this Boneyard mystery box, and it's at AmericanHorrors.net/shop, SHOP, shop. And it's these Boneyard mystery box. So let's say you want to get a copy of On Raven's Wings, the book from Gerard Way, and you don't have 350 or 400 books to buy that book. Well, I've got a bunch of books that are dinged. They're dinged. You can't sell them. They're not mint condition. So why not? Why not? I do this box where it's like 11 to 14 books. So you're going to get a bunch of stuff that's mint, but I'm also going to throw in some reader copies of stuff. And it's a whole grab bag of stuff from my career. And I put in an original pencil sketch from me into each box. And that, man, has turned out to be my best selling item in the store. The best selling item is the Boneyard Mystery
Mystery
Box.
boxes are great. Yeah, mystery
And they're
boxes are
getting
great,
original
man.
artwork, dude. I'm not cheesing it out. I'm like having fun with this. And I'm doing something original. It's different than my old style. It's a whole new style of art. And you're getting the original drawing. And I'm not just at a convention bored. I'm looking forward to this. This is fun for me. And every sketch is what's happening is I'm updating the Boneyard Press characters. So Dark Angel, Bill the Bull, Babylon Crusher, all coming back, only it's 20 years later. So there's new characters and I'm writing new stories. And so a lot of these different characters are showing up in my sketches. It's
That's
just like, wow,
awesome.
okay. This character is a character in my story and I just drew it. Wow. And so it's different. It's unique. It's not just me doing 15 drawings of Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah.
These
It's
are
probably gonna be
very
nice getting back into drawing. It sounds like you hadn't done it, or you just were so busy you
I
didn't
walked
really have
away from
time
it
to.
for years,
Yeah,
and it's been good for my head. I've got some pretty bad PTSD, and I get some bad panic attacks, and the art really helps me get out of my head and chill out.
well, sometimes when you step away, if you get that, like writer's block or artist block, I'm sure, you step away and then it's all these years and then the excitement and energy. And then your skill set comes back, you polish back up your skills, and it becomes more and more fun, and it gives you that opportunity where your brain's kind of, even if you haven't even thought about it, you got all these new ideas that when you were drawing at that time you didn't have, and now you can incorporate it to these new characters you're talking about, and new storylines, and what is it, 20 years to take two with the story. So that's cool, man. And it sounds like it really rejuvenated your passion for the story to expand on
I got
it.
back into it. My mother passed away in 2021, and my mom was a big part of the whole scene. She was part of it. She was known as Momosaurus Rex. I actually have been developing a cartoon series based around her character. Cake? Cake? This Momosaurus Rex character, and everybody knew her at the comic conventions, and my artist would stay at my house, and we'd all be bunkered down in the house eating Chicago pizza and having a great time. And I missed that, and my mother loved the comics, and she was instrumental in me being able to publish books. So when she passed, I said, yeah, it's great, Mom.
My mom
great,
does the same thing. Everybody knows her. Even at the last con I was at, one of the ladies didn't recognize me. It's like Doomsday's Krypt. My mom's in the scooter. You talk to me, you talk to her. Oh, I didn't recognize you. I mean, like, yeah, you just didn't notice me without my mom right behind me on her scooter. Everybody knows my mom. She's kind of like the icon. I'm just kind of there. It's like, is your mom here? No, it's not at this one.
If anybody wants to see my mom,
year.
Like if anybody wants to see my mother, there's stuff online on YouTube. Boneyard Bitches Gone Wild and Boneyard Bitches Unleashed, and they're my home movies from doing comic conventions in Chicago at the Wizard World show with my mother and the Boneyard Bitches and my late wife Waka, and it's a lot of fun, and you can kind of see that whole vibe. But I know I'm looking at the clock. I see it's 10:25, and there is one more movie at the film festival I got to mention. Plug. It's called The Cellar, and The Cellar is on Sunday, and it is a very cool, creepy cult movie from England, and you think it's going to be your usual girl kidnapped in a basement movie, but it is not. And it really takes a different twist and involves a bunch of different characters, and especially brings in a whole cool angle with AA and the whole notion of like Alcoholics Anonymous and the idea of anonymity for a killer at an AA meeting.
I like it. I like that. Not the second day is always nice for anybody's life sometimes, But yeah, man. So I mean, it's your 7th year. Did COVID affect the film festival at all? 6.
Well, COVID did affect the festival. I'd been negotiating with a big independent theater chain, and we were about to make the deal for the film festival to go on the road, like the old Spike and Mike Twisted Animation film festivals. And so the idea was we were going to do the best of the American Horrors Film Festival at different theaters from town to town. We'd come in and do like a 4 or 5 hour night, and we'd bring in our people, our circus, and then we'd leave. So this is our 6th year, and in 2020, that was our 4th. And with the lockdown, we were lucky to be in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So we didn't have to deal with some of the shenanigans, and we weren't forced to eat the same kind of lies and bullshit that the rest of the country and the world had to eat. So we had latitude. So we had the only film festival open to the public in a movie theater with 4K projection. And we had the only opening night party with a live rock show. No masks, live rock show.
A lot of people are enjoying getting out.
People drove from all over the state just to come to the show. Our opening night party in 2020 was off the chain great with, what was it, Revolution X? What were the guys from Chicago? Merciful Fate? No. Sinister Fate.
And Rosa Parkinson's.
And Sinister Fate had a music video of the best.
Familiar.
They're a really good band, man. They put on a great show.
I want to say they were at a convention playing recently, but I might be wrong. But
they're out of Chicago.
Yeah, well, I swear I've heard them play. I think I know them. That name's just way too familiar.
They're good. They've been around for a while.
I was like, I know a few of the names that you've mentioned and some of the people you worked which is really, really cool, man. And I'm real excited for you with this movie, with the film festival, it being your sixth festival event that you guys are doing. It's in Wisconsin, and it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you guys have never been to like a movie film festival, they are a ton of fun. They're movies you wouldn't normally probably get a chance to watch. And I know there's a lot of indie film fans that follow Doomsday's Krypt. So to be able to have a whole bunch of different filmmakers that put in their heart and passion to it, and you putting it on and being able to watch these films for straight days, plus all the extra events and activities you got going on. I love, that's why I love talking to film festival guys and con people and what they got planned for their events, and hearing all the cool. And it seems like everybody's stepping up their game. A lot of people are really reaching out and going, what can we do to make, not only the people bringing the films, but everybody that's coming enjoy themselves and always have something to do, not be bored. And when they're done, they're talking about the event for a little while and telling all their friends. So it sounds like you're on the right track with it.
If you can't make it to the film festival, if you're in a different state, we're showing some of the movies on American Horror. So at midnight, October 4th, Central Standard Time, we're playing Bloodspawn. It is our midnight movie for Friday night, and it's the weird Western one I was talking about. So that's going to be on the American Horrors TV channel at midnight, Central Standard Time on American Horrors, October 4th. And the American Horrors Film Festival TV series runs on the American Horrors channel on Friday nights. We do Groovy TV around 8:30ish p.m. Central Standard Time. We have Riffhead, and then it goes into the American Horrors Film Festival TV series that shows all the old interviews, all the panels, different shorts, different music videos, different interviews with bands and actors. And it's all in that series. And I think that's the celebration of independent film and trying to expose independent filmmakers to a worldwide audience. We have a very big audience, guys. We are worldwide. And what I would tell the independent creators to kind of be really big on this about, American Horrors has made very affordable packages for indie creators and indie horror creators to advertise their work on the TV network. And we do 11,000 to 20,000 viewers a day. Every time your commercial runs on my TV network on American Horrors, you can say that 100 to 280 human beings will see this commercial. And they're not bots. And then we're not talking about a swipe by or a scroll through. It's going to play. And I have a monitor on my channel, so I know how many people are watching a day. We're doing 2,000 unique visitors a day to the channel every day. So if you got a new book out, you got a Kickstarter campaign, you got a horror movie that nobody's paying attention to on Tubi, and you can't get Facebook to allow you to boost anything, you could advertise with me. And then it's uncut, and you're going to reach the people that are actually going to buy your book, that are actually going to go to Tubi and watch your movie. And we've had real success with this.
And you got somebody who's going to be supporting you on top, like with the film festival. So I think what you're doing is awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
We're hitting the 10:30 mark. I could talk to you for a while because it sounds like you got a ton of cool stories. Unfortunately, I got to get up super, super early tomorrow. But guys, if you guys can't make it out to Wisconsin for American Horrors, film festival, like Hart Fisher was saying over here, check out the website, AmericanHorrors.com.
It's AmericanHorrors.net. AmericanHorrors.net.
.net. Check it out. Join the film festival if you can't be there in person. Check out some of the great films. Check out what they're doing over in American Horrors. And Hart, hey, thanks for reaching out. And it's been a real fun time having you on the show. And I'm glad we got to sit down and talk and hear about what you're doing, man. I think it's kick-ass.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. In the background right now at American Horrors is Satanus, the Devil's Mass, featuring a whole documentary about Anton LaVey, the founder of the Satanic Church.
Oh, so don't miss it, guys. You better tune in. It's playing now.
It's on American Horrors, on AmericanHorrors.net, or on Roku for free in your app store.
So you can watch it almost anywhere. And I know you got some products in Walmart too. So keep up the awesome, man. I know it's always a grind, and then like you said, there's always ups and downs with whatever goes on, but never stay down when you get knocked down. The fighter mentality, you always get back up, you get back even stronger, and you make sure you can just keep kicking ass, man. And congratulations on your 6th year with doing American Horror Film Festival and all you're doing.
Thanks, buddy.
And I'm rooting for you to keep succeeding and get 24,000 viewers a day. I mean, that's pretty impressive numbers you're already getting as it is. And
it's growing all the time. It's really growing all the time, man. And it's so exciting because you can sit there and watch the curve go up. And so as you work and you find like a cool horror movie to play on the network, or you find a cool trailer or a cool music video, and you get that excitement back from the audience, and that's really what makes it all worthwhile. Well, getting some money for some steaks.
Yeah, money's nice, and steak is very good. But thank you again, Hart. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to checking out AmericanHorrors.net. I should have seen that. I didn't even realize your name behind there. I got tunnel vision. But I appreciate you again. I appreciate you guys chat. I'm not sure if I get any more shows this week. I know I got a crazy busy week coming up, and I got a crazy busy weekend at GalaxyCon in Des Moines, Iowa. And then Halloween Palooza in October, followed right by with Scarefest. So we got an exciting. Actually, I should have something on Tuesday because I got to do a Road to Memphis. So tune in Tuesday. We're going to do Road to Memphis, which is my last con of 2024, Memphis Monster Con. We'll have Jamie on. We'll catch up with the vendor and we'll talk about him. And until next time, guys, peace out. Thank you, Hart. Thank you, chat. See you soon.